Hey, it's Karel back on the streets of Long Beach, California for segment Cash. Now, 93 years ago, that's right, before even Share, this building behind me, the Security Pacific Bank building, was built. It was built as a symbol of power and of money and of wealth. Well, as a lot of you know, I, like America, have had some trouble with money, power, and wealth. And in season 2, I believe it was it season 2, Brandon? Season 1, wow, how time flies. In season 1, I showed y'all that I was declaring bankruptcy. Now, some of you may be wondering what happened to Karel after he declared bankruptcy. Was his life horrible? Was the process horrific? Did he make it through? Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof, I made it through, child. And not only did I make it through, I made it through much better than I was before. So, for the first question, am I happy I did it? Hell to the yes. Oh my God, what was I waiting for? If you are a candidate for bankruptcy, and we know in today's economy, there are so many of you that still might be, then take advantage of it before the Republicans get rid of it. I am telling you, the calls stopped. Everything stopped. And what about the stigma? 12 noon. Oh, the bell tower is almost as old as the building behind me, by the way, just so you know. I'll never hear the bell. So what about the shame and the stigma? None whatsoever. Nobody cares. Within 6 months of my bankruptcy, I had a credit card offer. It is now 14 months past my bankruptcy. I have a Capital One credit card with a zero balance on it, by the way. Just because you get them doesn't mean you get to use them. And I have a Kohl's charge card. And with using both of those judiciously, meaning never charging more than 1/3 of their limit and always paying it off every month, my credit score has gone from a 480 when I filed the bankruptcy to a 690 right now. I am 10 points away from having good credit again in just 18 months while I have been filming this TV show. So, was it a good thing I did it? Absolutely. Did it save my life? It most certainly did. And will I ever let myself get in that trouble again? No, I will not. I haven't had a working credit card in 7 years. I'm not about to use one now. When I do use one, I feel dirty. I feel so dirty that when I use one, I go home and immediately pay it off. That's how you should be too. Is bankruptcy for everyone? No. But if you are a candidate for it, if you are someone that can qualify for it, then absolutely do it. I can't tell you how it has changed my life. And more importantly, it's taken away all of the stress and no one got hurt. You know, no businesses were harmed, no executives were flogged. Everybody just went about life as normal. No one went bankrupt. So here in Segment Cash, 2 years ago now, I said I was scared to do the bankruptcy, that I didn't know what was going to happen, and I felt bad. Now that I'm through it, best decision I ever made. So if you are struggling, stop. If you need help, seek out an attorney. The consultation is free. And more importantly, do not worry what people will be thinking about you should you file. Because guess what? The current president-elect of the United States has filed 4 times. So you needn't be worried, okay? Now, I am Karel. Back behind me was my first bank ever. 1936 is when it started as a bank. 1924 it was built. I've learned all about banks now through my bankruptcy, and here's what I'll tell you about them. Stay away. Keep your money close to your vest, and don't overspend. The average American is still $18,000 in debt. Stop it. If you can't afford your life, change your life. That's what I did. And God, are Ember and I happier? Aren't we, Ember? She and I are much happier. So be happy too. Change your life, make smart financial decisions for a change, and get out of that debt, child. Oh, frees you up.
Stronger, stronger together. Stronger, stronger together.
Hey, it's Karel, and welcome to Karel Live in Segment. How many times have y'all looked at the TV and looked at me, okay, looked at me and went, okay? I know some of y'all look at me and go, especially when I do some stuff that makes you go, Well, there's a lot of stuff in this world that makes me go, and I want to talk about some of that. Because quite frankly, 2016, the year that I'm in right now, I know that you're watching this in 2017 and beyond, but the year that I'm in right now, as years have it, it's you know, I know I'm supposed to be doing intros here, but it is the end of season 3 of Karel's Life in Segments, and I have to tell you, as I've watched season 1, 2, and 3 unfold, season 1 was all about us finding our voice and having some fun and just really doing any kind of crazy topics that came to mind. Season 2 was more focused and structured and a lot in Ireland, which was great fun. And now season 3 has really dealt with the extraordinary time at hand, the campaign and subsequent election of Donald Trump. And I've watched the tone of the show go from really, really fun and just over-the-top outrageous to very serious in a lot of segments. And I have to say that I hope for season 4 and beyond, because now with the addition to Free Speech TV of Reverie and other media outlets, you know, we're going strong with the show. We're going to be back for season 4. They're already talking about season 5. So we are, you know, we're moving ahead. I hope we can get back to having more fun. It's not that season 3 wasn't fun. We learned a lot. We went to the ports and we went all over the place. We had a lot of great fun in season 3. But there was always this shadow of the Trump election over my head. There was the shadow as we started season 3. We had the Orlando shooting. And that sort of was a shadow over my head for the season. So season 3 saw the addition of EMBER because Pippa had died. It saw the election of Donald Trump. And all of it, all the while trying to have fun. I think that describes your life, right? I think in 2016, I think a lot of you were just trying to live and have a life, and you had all of this extraordinary stuff going on in the real world. So hopefully, seasons 4 and 5, we can shake things up by getting back and having a lot more fun, and maybe getting out of Park Howard a little bit more and going out into the world. And one of the things that I did think about that made me go, speaking of out in the world, was, you know, how we always say we're going to pray for something, or we dim the lights for something on a building, or we put colored lights on another building. And while these are all great gestures, they're really empty. And sometimes I wonder if we know how empty it is. So I had to go off on that in that chair right over there. So let's see what I had to say when I was sitting right over there, where he's sitting now, actually. He was me. See, at first I wanted it to be called because of things that make you go but now I'm kind of thinking it's the bitchy queen in me going because I was going to talk about one thing in this segment, but now I want to talk about another. Because it's this ongoing thing. Where'd Daniel go? Where's Charleston? It's this ongoing thing that I really feel social media is just, when they write the annals of humankind, of which I think we're in the final season. I really do. I think we're writing the final season of America. I think it's pretty much over. Humankind, like 100 years max is what we got left. It's that bad. I actually believe that. I actually believe that humans in general, as a majority species, have about 100 years left, and then and Trump is the beginning of that end. No two ways, or was if you're watching this in the future as a historical document. But the funny thing that I'm laughing at is, you know, I think about social media and I think about how bad it is for everybody, because it's just so terrible for everybody. I mean, if you're me, social media is a good thing. I'm on television. You know what? I'm on radio. I'm in print. I'm a media person, so social media is good for a media person. Unfortunately, social media turned the neo-Nazi fascist next door into a TV station and into a newspaper and into somebody whose comments seemed to matter to somebody somewhere. So it gave a voice to just much too much. And one of the things that it makes me laugh that it does recently, we do this with everything though, is the cause du jour is Aleppo. Everybody is praying for Aleppo. And that just is killing me. This praying for Aleppo is killing me. And they're posting on social media, oh, I am praying for Aleppo, child. And they're so happy to put it on their social media feed because that does something, right? Because some bombed out, starving refugee over in Aleppo is a little bit better because on your social feed somewhere, it says that you said a prayer for somebody in Aleppo. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing. I heard the Eiffel Tower dim their lights for Aleppo. They dimmed. Who the hell cares? Oh my God. You know what? We live in this world now where you think you can post something and you think that does something. You think it matters. You think my God, it means something. You know what it means? It means nothing. Okay? Your posting and your prayer, it means nothing. Unless it's backed up by some action, child. Action. They want to live. That's the new song. Is it too soon? I have a song for Aleppo. Action. They want to live. This is how funny I think it is, praying for Aleppo. You know, don't pray for Aleppo. Send them $20. Don't pray for Aleppo. Send them some coats, okay? Send them some jackets. Don't pray for Aleppo. Let in some refugees, okay? Let in some of the 10 to 20,000 orphans that are over there right now. Let in their parents. Let in these Syrians that we have bombed into the netherworld. You want to pray for Aleppo. I pray for anyone that would pray for Aleppo because that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Oh, I posted something about it. You know, I posted to my Facebook. I did. I posted this whole article to my Facebook about those poor people in Zimbabwe. And what good did that do? It is the most ridiculous thing now. We think social media is taking some kind of action. And then, this is rich. I love this. I love when fat asses on social media will sit around and criticize people who are actually doing something. Why are those people blocking off the street? Why are those protesters closing down the freeway? Because they're not sitting behind their computer. Is that why you're mad at them? Because they're too busy actually protesting something to do a status update? Because they just can't get that Instagram picture in because they're actually out standing with the people that, oh, I loved that. That was wonderful. Everybody that stood with the people at Standing Rock, that was great. That was wonderful. I'm so glad you all stood. No, you need to fly up there and actually stand with the people at Standing Rock and get in between them and the rubber bullets. Social media has made it so you just think all you have to do now is, oh, I posted. And emoticons. Don't get me started on emoticons. Oh, the new iOS has 4,000 new emojis. If you're over the age of 12 and you use an emoji, shame on you. Okay, just shame on you. Some kind of Orwellian newspeak where you don't even have to spell out the word clap. Jesus H. Christ, for the love of all things holy. Don't send me a little smiley heart. You can type out I love you, can't you? I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. That's not too hard, is it? Have to send me some emoji, and I can't see the damn thing, so I don't even know if I'm being cursed at. I don't know if I'm being made a pass at. I never know what the hell's going on now because they're sending emojis. They could be declaring war for all I know. But I'll pray for them. I'll pray for people who use emojis. That's what I'll do. I'll pray for you. Please, take some action, people. Send some money somewhere. Go protest something. Get out your house. Get off your butt. Get off the social media. Go join an organization. Pick up the telephone. Call somebody like a senator, a congressperson. Go door to door with a petition. Do something. But don't just pray for things. Don't just post for things. It does nothing. Nothing. Zero. I did something for the people of Aleppo. I bought a Syrian coat. I did. It's from Syria. So, hey, I supported their economy. Okay? So I did something for them. At least. Actually, I plucked it out of the hands of some poor refugee. No, I did not. Pray. Pray for me. You want to pray for someone, pray for me. Oh, well, it is Karel, and welcome to another edition of Karel's Life in Segments. Yes, this is my life, and it is in segments. Can you imagine what it's like inside my brain? If this is what my show is like, can you imagine what my brain is like? We're going to talk about gearing up for every ride with my segment Pop Moto TV because I am a gearaholic. I love motorcycle riding, bicycle riding, any kind of riding, but you need gear for anything you're going to ride, especially in today's world. Don't ride anything without the proper gear. The air is rife with sexual innuendo. Anyway, so we went down to Gear Up for Every Ride to talk to them about what we should and should not wear, what is good, what is bad for men, for women, and this is the result. But before we go, I have to tell you about this jacket I'm wearing, because you see, to me, it's as much drag as a motorcycle jacket. You see, I don't own a tie, nor did I own a jacket. But 19 years ago, my husband and I were going to fly first class on British Airways over to Europe, our first trip. It was a media trip, and they upgraded us to first class thanks to Andrea Lita Rademan. But we couldn't get on first class without what? Jackets. So Andrew went and bought me one, since I don't know how. And he bought me this one. This jacket is almost 20 years old, and it's in perfect shape because I think I've worn it under 10 times. Because to me, this is as much a costume as getting on a motorcycle may be to some of you all, child. But hey, I like the shoulder pads, so what are you gonna do? All right, let's go down to Irvine for Gear Up for Every Ride and see how we can keep you safer in Pop Moto TV. Hey, this little lady down here is one of the loves of my life, and she is truly a little lady. Now, you know it's been one of my my missions here on Karel Life in Segments to get as many of you as possible up and riding a motorcycle. I really believe a motorcycle or a motor scooter can help America solve its energy problems, its infrastructure problems, not to mention they're great fun. And I know all of you scream, but they're dangerous. They're not any more dangerous than any other mode of transportation if you do it right. That's why I really could have thrown my support behind Gear Up Every Ride, gearupeveryride.com. When I heard about them, I said, you gotta be involved in the show. Please come on, be sponsors, be involved, because I believe in what you do. You see, this is Little Ember, and every time I ride a motorcycle, it's my goal to get back to Little Ember as safely as I can. And that is the absolute truth. That's what goes through my mind. She's the one looking at me as I leave the house, and if I'm not geared up, I look at her and think, I could be injured. And so I get geared up, and I do it for her. Now, it's thought of a man's sport, motorcycling, or it's thought of something men do. It's butch, it's macho. Well, that couldn't be any further from the truth. First of all, I want to tell you something. Motorcycling is not macho, it's not feminine, it's not sexy, it's not anything except a form of transportation. That's what it is. Now, you can look good while doing it, and you can certainly enjoy it, but the fact is, it's about getting from point A to point B economically and having some fun while doing it. And that's what it's really about, at least it is for me and so many of you. Now, in the last 10 years that I've been a motorcyclist, there's just been so many changes in gear and so many changes in demographics, and that's exciting to me. But there's been a great increase. It's been the highest point of just ever right now. And so it's a good time if you're a woman to be out riding a motorcycle. But again, don't be a man. In other words, be smarter than some men are and gear up. And as I said, this is a great time to do it. Now, this is not endorsing any one manufacturer. This is not selling you any kind of product. Gear Up Every Ride is not about that. It's not about who you buy. It's the fact that you are going to wear it and you are going to gear up every single time. Now, we have someone from Germany here. I love her, and we've been chatting away. I cannot pronounce her name for the life of me. So I'm going to be Karel. That's hard enough. But you are?
Juliane Eger.
See? Now let's say that 3 times.
Juliane Eger. No, you
Come on,
say
2 more.
You say it.
I couldn't
Come on.
possibly. Juliana, can I call you you?
Whatever you want.
Anna, what does your mom call you?
Juliane.
Oh, she didn't call you like Anna or anything?
No.
What does she call you when she's mad?
Juliane.
But with a different tone in her voice. Yeah. You're from Germany. You know, here in America, let's talk a little bit before we get into this. What is the difference in attitudes between Europe and America when it comes to motorcycling? Some of the biggest differences you see in the attitudes towards motorcycling?
So first of all, we get a lot more trained in Germany before you actually get your license. That makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Huge difference.
Don't ride a motorcycle at all or a scooter without being
Exactly.
trained. I took a course through the MSF, Motorcycle Safety Foundation. We're in their offices right now in Irvine, California. My rider coach, one of my rider coaches is actually here. And I did that prior to getting the bike. They have bikes for you. And if you even think you're going to be interested in the future, go take one of the courses. It doesn't hurt. They have bikes for you, and you'll be a better car driver. did you grow up with it, or how did you get in? Because we don't think of young, beautiful women hopping on motorcycles unless they're superheroes. And you look like a superhero right now, by the way.
Thank you. So I started when I was 18, so in Germany it's allowed that you start motorcycling at 18. So I always wanted to go on motorcycles. I was always very into motorcycling. Don't ask me why. And then I waited until I was 18, so I did my driver's license, got my first bike, and since then I'm like on the bike as
It's
much
like a
as I
tattoo.
can.
Once it's like there, you just go down the road.
Exactly.
Now, you're only, what, 20 now? So it's been 2 years, so you're not that old.
Thank you for that.
No, it's true. But there have been a great, and Ty's over there being our coach, but I think Ty would agree, gear manufacturers didn't necessarily pay a lot of attention to women beforehand. I think we would all agree with that, right? And now that's changed, and as that is changing, they're getting on board, and they're going great guns with making gear specifically for women. Because just like Barbra Streisand will tell you with heart disease, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can seek out Barbra Streisand and her heart disease cause. Did you know that all medicine is studied on men? Did you know that?
No.
All medicine is studied on men.
Wow.
And heart disease in particular, all treatments and therapies were studied on men. And yet you guys have a completely different system than we do.
Yeah.
So Barbra Streisand has started a national campaign for women's heart health to help women be aware of what's going on with them. And because women are different than men. And that should even be reflected in the gear that you wear, because you have specific needs.
And we started this movement to show also women what options they have to gear up every ride and to look fashionable, to be protected, which is the most important thing, to look cool.
Well, we've all seen that. I mean,
comfortable.
I know you guys hate that video. We've all seen the video on YouTube, the girl flying off the back when her boyfriend does a wheelie. My biggest concern when I saw that really was that she wasn't wearing any gear. Because something like that is survivable, but if you're in gear, and she wasn't. So let's start at the top. This is a helmet by a company I love named Schubert. They are a German company. They spend a fortune on R&D. They have their own wind tunnel. They are an incredible company, and I trust them with my head. They have made a woman's helmet here, and I'm told that the inside of this is specifically designed for a woman's head.
For a woman's head shape. It's also a modular helmet, so you can open it up so it's perfect.
It's beautiful, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is really
lightweight.
Lightweight. It has a pin lock inside, so it doesn't get foggy, and so I really
and
love
it's beautiful,
that.
and a woman wouldn't feel badly carrying that around.
Exactly. It's
the gloves are now being made. Always wear gloves on a bike. You know why? Because the first thing that should you encounter anything, it's just natural to put your hands up. That's just the first thing. And you want to make sure they're covered in more than your skin, because trust me, cowhide or pig hide or whatever hide it is, or textile is much more durable than your hands.
Yeah.
But women would have trouble before because their hands are shaped much differently than men, and now of course they don't.
And look at those, they look so
They look
nice.
good, don't they? Yeah, you'd wear those just in any cold weather.
That's right.
Well, that's one of the biggest things is dual purpose gear now for men and women. For instance, another company I wear a lot of is THERESE. I know the story. A lot of these are owner operated, or they were started by the same one person. There is a Mr. THERESE, you know, they started that. And so these here, this is gear for women once again, and these are blue jeans that would keep you protected, except they're beautiful blue jeans.
Yeah, and there's so many different types, so you have really skinny jeans you can even buy.
I hate skinny jeans. People that wear them should be beaten.
But women, look at them women, come on.
Well, nothing worse than a skinny queen in skinny jeans, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, so there are so many different types, so really, you can just wear them.
Right, and these are like pre-washed, and you can feel in here, see?
Yeah.
Because again, the whole goal of all of this is to put something in between you and whatever might be coming at you. So this is great. If I would have had one of these for the election, I could have just put it up in front of my face. So that's great there.
Yeah.
And then yet they're fashionable. And also, I was going to say also, and by the way, but that's redundant. Some of this stuff you can actually take out the protection if you want.
Yeah, exactly. So when I go out at night, I just wear those jackets.
Here, we can pick
It
up our
looks so
girl.
good.
This is our girl, Ember.
Yeah.
Set our girl right there. She's going to get some doggles, aren't you? You are. Here, hold on. There you go. She will not be. Look how stylish that is.
That looks so cool. This is a jacket by Roland Sands. And like, I would just wear this for going out at night. And then I just remove the armor that you can put in for the elbows, for the shoulders, for the back.
Now, what do you say to a woman out there who might want to do this, but her family is afraid for her because she's a woman, it's a motorcycle? What would you say to someone, both to the woman and to her family, if this is something that she really wants to explore? You know, what would you say to them?
If she gears up every ride and if she pays attention, she does the basic rider course, which is really important to get trained, there's really no concern.
Right.
So,
especially coming from a foreign nation, because bikes are everywhere in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just everywhere. And
That's
kids use
true.
them, and adults use them, and dogs use them. Everybody uses them. Again, we mentioned in the previous Pop Moto segment, gear ranges anywhere in pricing. You can start at $100, and if depending upon what you want, it can go all the way up to $1,000.
Yeah.
It's really up to you and what level of style and protection you want. There is a never-ending array. There's tables and tables here at Gear Up Every Ride. It's really just a matter of personal style. But again, in my never-ending quest to use my show to help you get on a bike, I would be remiss if I didn't make sure that you geared up every single ride. Because if any of you ever got a motorcycle and then emailed me and said you were hurt on it, and it was because you were not geared up, I would feel absolutely horrible. So if you're going to take my advice and try out this for fun, for the economy, scooters are great for around town. The Bergman is a great scooter I could see many housewives on. The Paggios I could see many women on. And then regular bikes. They make smaller bikes if you're someone that's a smaller framed woman. They make a Yamaha that's a lovely low bike. Susie, we got her from here. I called her Susie. She was a Yamaha, and she was very low to the ground, very light. It was like a 250cc or something. And it was my niece, she was 21 at the time. It was the perfect starter bike for her. It wasn't too big of an engine. It looked great, was low to the ground, but yet wasn't too much of a bike.
Yeah, but you may not forget that women can also ride big bikes.
Of course, but they also have gear every single time. So remember to gear up every time. The name of the push, the movement, is Gear Up Every Ride. It is a movement, and I'm a huge supporter of the movement and of motorcycling, so I wanted to bring you in here in Life in Segments and show you women out there, okay? It's not just a man's sport. As you can see, you can make this look good and be safe at the same time. The story that prompted this was that you women are now at all-time highs when it comes to riding and to ownership. So keep it up, ladies. Keep buying motorcycles, keep riding motorcycles, but please do it safely. And if you're going to bring someone like your little girl on the motorcycle, do yourself a favor and don't. Okay? And if you bring her on the scooter like I do, make sure she's all geared up. And she has her gear too, because even she does what? Gears up every ride. Thank you for joining me here today and showing me all this wonderful stuff. I wish I could fit into some of it, but unfortunately, master's over there in the large section. Portions of the Karel cast and Karel's High Tea are brought to you by Lennox, an American classic, American-made since 1889. Fine makers of tea sets, china, ornaments, dinnerware. LENOX.com from Trenton, New Jersey.